Is it okay if I wait for your cart?
Sure.
Thank you. All right, buckle up. There's a lot to see. You might want to watch this in 2x speed. At the bins on a Saturday mid-morning. Here come brand new bins. Now don't touch anything until they have told you you are allowed to. Sorry that came off a little aggressive, but I'm just warning you, you're not allowed to touch anything before they say go and before all the new bins in that section are put out. It's a very big deal. People have gotten kicked out or scolded, Definite sucker for some glassware. And these old style looking books. I don't even think this is that old, but it's beautifully done. Books are 25 cents here, and at the other location they are 50 cents. So make sure you check your Goodwill bins prices before you start thrifting. Now you'll notice in the parking lot I stopped and got a cart. It's pretty, if I see the parking lot is full, I'm going to stop and wait for somebody to unload and grab their cart so that they don't take it back, but also it makes sure that I get a cart. And usually the corral is empty when you walk inside, so. These bins have been picked over a little bit, so it really depends on what you're looking for, or if anything really catches your eye, put it in your cart and you can always Google Lens it later. Because if it piques your interest, you can always look it up and see. I I passed up on two things that I really wish I would have looked into more, and maybe I would have put the other items I got back if I had given myself time at the bins to do that. So this area has two different rooms. It has a clothing room, and sometimes they have glassware in there, but then this location is all like the hard goods and then also glassware in the bins. And then there's a furniture section in the corner, which is usually just stocked full. Usually a little yucky, or broken. But that's okay, because, $4 for a bookshelf. What, are we really going to be that upset about a $4 bookshelf? No. It's a great deal. Definitely something that can get you through. Kitchen table, I don't think that was that much either. That was probably like under $20. Then they have an artwork bin. Usually these are about $2 at this location. Again, be sure to check your location's rules. Now glassware is by the pound, 99 cents. But today they actually had a little deal, a little half off deal. If your product weighs over 2 pounds, then the item is $2. So I bought a punch bowl here a few weeks ago. It weighed 8 pounds, but I only paid $2. If this had a cord, they actually have a section over with a bunch of outlets that you can actually test products, but it was battery operated, so I ended up putting it back. I don't know what it is about that gigantic platter there, but I had to take it. I ended up making a mistake with this piece, though. I didn't weigh it separately. I weighed it with all the other glass items, and I probably could have saved at least $4 on it. So I'm considering bringing my own scale to pre-weigh these things, so when I get to the checkout, I'm ready to go. And I'm prepared, and we can do the weighing and the paying efficiently. You probably saw this in an earlier clip. I went back and grabbed it. I don't know much about it. Made in Italy, and it's beautiful and it's large. So more dishes. Dishes are hard to resell. They're also heavy. So I'll probably just keep them for like an in-person craft show. This should have definitely got that pan. This is really pretty. I think it's a vintage Blue Rain. I am currently on a leather kick, so if it looks like leather, I pick it up. This is just a made in the USA little laptop carrier, it looks like. I don't know if anyone else out there can tell that this is not glass. This is plastic. And my grandma promptly pointed that out when I showed her and was excited. She was like, that's plastic. Love you, Gigi. This location doesn't typically have this many bins of books, so I wish I was more educated on these so I can pick them up also. If anybody is a book collector out there, let us know what we should be looking for. If you see any books you think I should get, write it in the comments. There seem to be some really good kid books here, but I don't have time to read through them all and make sure that they are as cute as they look. You always start reading something and you're like, I'm not so sure about this one. And just a whole range of kid books, cookbooks, and Yeah, I mean, did somebody write, what is this? Did somebody make that themselves? That's kind of fun. Oh, some highlights. It's been a while. Yeah, anything you could pretty much be looking for. I didn't end up buying this. I don't know anything about it, but I think I liked the octopus on the front and the gold imprint. I just thought that was really cool. So, moved over to the clothes section now. I was really excited when I saw Kate Spade. I did have to do a little bit more research, but it does look authentic to me, so I didn't list it on my Poshmark. But I cleaned it up first. Now I'm headed over to the clothes. This both excites and overwhelms me. There are bins with too many clothes in it. Half of them are brands I've never heard of. It does take some time to do a little bit more research every time. I usually just use the Google shot and I'm able to look it up. The bins cover so many categories for resale. So I've been really trying to focus on quick flips, which would be taking it to Plato's Closet. I have been able to find and take plenty of men's clothing to Plato's Closet. And it's not the biggest profit, but it's a quick turnaround and I can usually end up paying for everything I buy at the bins. This way I don't have it sitting in my house for a long time and I don't have to individually list it all. And a t-shirt doesn't even weigh a pound, so you're really not paying that much. If you bring it in bulk, you can end up making at least the money to cover your trip and your gas. I don't think selling to Plato's Closet could make you a full-time reseller, but it's a good place to start with quick flips. I'm just flipping through the clothes and making sure there's some stains there. Am I the only one who loves this jacket? I showed this to so many people thinking it was so pretty and I got outvoted. They didn't think so. But I don't know if it's the wool or the color or just the craftsmanship. I really like older stuff. I don't think I'd ever wear it because I don't think I could pull it off, but I admire it. I thought this was really cute, and I was like, is that cream or is it really dirty? Well, when I got home, I gave it a straight up bath because I smelled it. It smelled like cigarettes, so the yellowing is from cigarette smoke, but it did wash out. That looked a little suspicious for mold, so I left it. Great deal on glass today. This was so funny. I just had to add it. Didn't buy it though. This beauty is in near perfect condition. I've started making sourdough and thought this would be a really cute sourdough cookie display. This location didn't always have the glass bins. They just started this. The glass usually is in with some lamps and other chandeliers, or see some picture frames here, just other fragile things. And you get a really fun variety. I wish I knew what happened to all this after it left the bins. I got pretty excited when I saw these little C's for Coach, and then it turns out I really don't think it's Coach. It's in pretty rough condition, but you can see the leather shouldn't peel like that if it's real leather. And then I've seen another video where she talks about the rings being a closed circle and there's a gap. And this creed seemed a little off to me. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, obviously. I know you will. Good. Ooh yeah, here comes some more bins. I try to get a good spot, and I feel like I always end up by the most random things. But that is kind of the point of the dig. So hopefully we find some good things. They have not given us the go-ahead. You're not allowed to touch anything until they say go, okay? And then it's like a stampede. You gotta get ready. I almost got in a fight over a paintbrush one time. I just handed it to him. We all moved on with our day. I am going to check into reselling toys because I know sometimes they do okay. But I know you have to be pretty specific or have full sets. I really don't know yet, and I'm looking forward to learning about that. And pans too. There's always pans here, but they are usually a little rough or missing lids, or that one is dented. But I do like getting those plastic containers. They're really helpful for organizing and much cheaper here than they would be at Target or even Walmart. Looks like we got some lovely hair today. Looks like it's new in the package. Let me know if I should have picked that up. Some loose birthday napkins. All in all, we're looking pretty sparse. I think we need to move down the line. I did look that little manger up for little tykes, and it was kind of all over the place. We'll keep it for Christmas time to try to resell. Seems like the little people would probably be a better find. Moving on to the glassware. I love when glassware comes out. I just think it's so pretty. I love the small details and I love the ease of cleaning it, and I love that you know what you're getting. If you're getting into sourdough, there's some fun things you can buy here. Like you could totally proof in that bowl. And that pretty dish with the beautiful flower on the bottom. It's half off glassware today, but if it's over 2 pounds, it's only $2. So if you put it in a box with a bunch of stuff and it ends up being like 8 pounds, you're really paying more. So you gotta be careful to separate out your really heavy glass items because that probably weighs like 8 pounds. This I did pick up. There's a huge stain on the bottom. I was able to wash it out and soak it in just some Branch Basics, that powdered cleaner that they have. And if you put a washcloth over the stain that's wet with the stain that's been wetted and then that powder, it actually can help really loosen that stain and let that product do the work. Tons of dishes today. I'd like to do a show around Christmas time, and these guys were so cute. They were missing one of their friends, these little carolers, paper mache, I believe, and they're missing another female singer. But I still think as the pair, they're pretty adorable, and we'll see how much I can sell them for at the Christmas time show. Oh man, that gets out of control quick. I think I've only been here for like half an hour, so now it's time to go through the cart, start Googling, and make sure that these are worth buying for resale or worth buying to keep. I do keep a good portion of this, either, for a little while or long term. So this is the overall haul. I did end up getting that huge old turkey platter and some books and a Bible. And you can see this little mailbox there is pretty cool. And my fake Tiffany lamp shade. Some clothes. That shirt ended up going to Plato's Closet. I think I got a couple bucks for it, but it wasn't really going for much online and the sales weren't great. So I thought, well, Plato's Closet is quick, and then that way this ended up having a hole in the sleeve. I think I'm back a week or two later here, grabbing another cart. This is like at 8 a.m., okay? 8 a.m. So the bins are left over from last night at my location, and they've already been gone through a couple times, so we'll wait now about a half an hour, maybe less than that. Some more new carts will come out. At 7:30 at this location, they close down the area with all the clothes in it, and then they put you in the front room, and then at about 7:45, they want you lined up and ready to check out. So we'll be checking out the rules here. Paintings are, if they weigh more than 2 pounds, then they are $2. If it weighs more than 4 pounds, it's $4. Suitcases, large items are about $4, and that's all at this location. Every location is going to be different, probably based on your city. Even the one that's about an hour away is more expensive. So I'm really looking for an acrylic paint, like with no glass, and then a old wood frame. Those I find really beautiful. Not that these aren't, but they fade a little bit more, and I really like that you can see the texture in the other paintings. This is a plastic frame. I like the painting, but I didn't end up getting it because of that plastic frame. If anyone's been to the bins, what do you look for? Do you look for purses? Because I'm on a real purse kick right now. I also like picking up backpacks. One size kind of fits all, so it works out pretty well for resale, I think. Had some really great baskets this morning. I ended up putting most of them back because we're not quite in basket season yet. I feel like the closer we get to spring, I'll probably regret that. More bins, here we go. Yeah, all I have is baskets. I ended up putting most of them back. That crock, I instantly fell in love with the blue stripe. Gotta have that. It's currently in my kitchen. I could not part with it. And, a little fish in those candlesticks. I was able to sell those. Only had one person interested in them. I still have this little jar. I'm not sure if it's like just a candy dish or if it's anything, has a special name at all. And I was really happy that we found this because I have a set at home that matches. I like to pick up name brand stuff like Adidas because you can typically clean it up and sell it for a little bit of money. This is the Lego brand. Don't forget to look inside the backpacks. I made that mistake and brought that Adidas one home in the upper lining. You had to like flip it over to see where the wear was. And I would have left it there. Some more purses galore, but not anything super high end that would have a high resale value. So I did leave it. I toyed with the idea of like buying leather purses that didn't have high resale and maybe turn them into earrings, but just big dreams over here, not enough time. I thought about it for a second, but I had one of these where the water tank always molded. If it's ever weak, it molded. And I did take that Google Nest home and it kind of went haywire and it did work, but it wasn't super high quality. I'm sorry, it's not a Nest, it's a Google Home. I did not Google this. I ended up leaving it behind and I looked it up later and really good comps. It's just a pretty bag. I should have taken it. Trip number 3. I start at the cart return. If there's a cart, I bring it inside because likely there won't be one. Box truck for the win. They came to play. So it's 8 a.m. There's plenty of carts today. Yeah, just this is all left over
This
from
time
last
here,
night
8
when
a.m.,
they
so there's plenty
brought
of carts.
bins out, so they've already been
And
gone through. I've been
these
here
are
at
all
close
left out
before,
from
and it's not
last
as
night,
busy,
so they've already
there's
been
likely
gone
still
through.
some
We're
good
probably not
things in
going to
here.
find much, so we'll just kind of peruse
Don't know
until we
anything
can.
about
They bring out new
these
carts.
old records.
I'm
They're
always
just kinda
amazed
cool to me.
what ends up here and
Lots
how long it
of
took to get here. Like, how long was it in
miscellaneous. Oh
someone's
no,
house?
somebody emptied a box.
What happened to them? And does anybody else
So
feel that
good
way when they
luck
go to
if
estate
anybody's
sales?
looking
Because
for
those
the
kind of
game
make
of
me sad.
life.
But
You
you
are going
really
to have
never
to
know what you're
collect
going to
it.
get or how old
I
it's
have
going to be
found sets
because
before that
people
have
hold
been
on to
in
things.
multiple
People think they have
bins,
things in
so not
storage.
just
So
one, but
when it ends up
3.
at the Goodwill
And
bins,
if you're
it's
not
already
afraid to
gone through
dig or take
Goodwill.
the time and you have time, I usually try to stay for about 2 hours. You can get full sets like that, but they might not always be together. I like picking up flowers here. Everything is by weight, so you know you're paying dirt cheap prices. Some of these are in pretty decent shape still, and there's usually a really nice variety. Would you pick up cookware from the bins? You dare? You see that muffin tin? All right, would you do it? I thought those glasses just plastic, so I left it. I have been looking for a glass little bell cover thing, and I did find one at an estate sale, which I took home for about $7.50, and it was ginormous. Some nice size coloring books. This would be 25 cents. And at the other location by me, it's 50 cents. So really do your research if you can before you go so you know how to prepare yourself via weight. At this location, an item that is over 2 pounds is only $2. And at the other location, that rule does not apply. It has to be over 5 pounds for it to be $3. So you really got a big window there. Poor Angel lost her head. So lots of water bottles. I don't know anything about bats. Some musical instruments, another muffin tin. Somebody donated some water bottles. Cool metal basket, but again, everything is by weight, so you have to remember you might be getting a lot of $2 items, which is still a good deal as long as it's in good shape. Or you can fix it. This location is kind of nice because it has light fixtures and glass. They don't have that at every location. Now we're moving into the discard area where people go to the close area, get in line, and then they start scanning their items while they wait in line for checkout. And then whatever they don't want gets tossed back into this area here because it's right by the checkout.
Well, these are cute. An area brand? Yes, please. So what we have to do, though, is perform the rock test. I cannot take credit for this. I saw this on TikTok, and she suggests rocking them, touching them just a little bit to see if they teeter like that. Then you know that they are not stable. So when somebody is walking, they're going to just be all over the place. People don't need to be rolling their ankle in the shoes that you sell them. Too bad. These are super cute. Back in the bins they go. I saw another creator perform the rock test where you tip the shoe, and if it rocks back and forth, it's not as stable as you think. So I'm going to try to do that every time I buy a pair of shoes to make sure they're good quality. And I will try to find her name because I never really thought of this. You see wear and you think it's a goner, but sometimes the rock test actually still passes. I am still learning so much about reselling and shoes and brands, and there's a lot to see. Should have picked these up. Turns out they're in decent condition and they sell pretty well. So whoops. You shop and you learn. So shoes kind of overwhelm me in like condition and cleaning and making sure you're selling something of good quality. I don't want to send out anything that's not any good. I did bring a pair of bear claw boots to Plato's Closet. I paid $2, got $9.90. And that's in one of my other videos about how I will bring stuff from the bins and bring it to Plato's Closet to kind of break even, or pay for the order and pay for everything else. I thought these were really cute at first, but these are actually from Temu, so I left those there. I'm really surprised that there are this many shoes left over, and I don't know much about Nike. I know Jordan's a big deal, but I didn't know if certain brands were in. I'll have to take better photos of these shoes. That was kind of my plan. This is very much recon. I didn't have much time, so really just getting a grip for what was here and what to keep an eye for next time, which will probably be completely different. So the bins and reselling is a huge learning curve. This I thought was cute and it was in good condition. It was Aldo brand, and maybe next time I pick it up. Purses, I feel like they would do pretty well. I just really want things that are in good condition and without the handles torn, so sometimes those will get passed up. But when you're buying it from the bins for $1 or $2 and reselling it for $35, you're still making a decent amount. You're not gonna retire off of one purse, but half the fun is shopping and digging. And there are like little cliques that kind of form at the bin, so that's really fun to see all these little people in the corners hanging out together. There's always like a little veterans corner, and if you need a screwdriver, I usually go ask one of them, so they'll usually have one. And then I saw one guy literally brought a foot-long sandwich with him and a drink, like in a cooler. I mean, these people are here to stay all day if they need to. And you'll see them kind of start to talk in the corner and show each other what they found, and it's just kind of fun to see people gather at the bins. So I haven't made any friends yet except for with one of the veterans. And when I found a big box of gold silverware looking stuff, everybody came over and wanted to see what was in the box. And they were all taking pictures. It was really funny. I gave that to my mom, though. She resells silverware, so I don't know how that has turned out yet, but I can't wait to see if she's able to sell any of it. It was about 79 pieces and had Buddhas on it and was from Thailand, so we'll see. I thought this backpack looked good at first, but when I started checking zippers, not all of them were working, so I left that one there. Tons of purses here tonight still, so I didn't end up taking very many home and ended up researching more of them, but this brand I think is just from Kohl's. I'll have to look that up, but yeah, these shoes, I really should have gotten these shoes. They're so cute, and it turns out they do resell. They resell okay, so nice pair of shoes though, and in decent condition. So one of these times I'm going to have to take a chance on a pair of shoes and see what happens. It is hit or miss with shoes because I was there again today. No shoes at all. But look at all them pairs. Really getting into the bottom of the bins here. Feel pretty fortunate that we have 2 sections to go through. Those are always good to pick up. Easy to clean out and sanitize and use for whatever you need. Once I get to this amount, I try to, emphasis on try, go find a corner, start looking things up. I've kind of set an over $50 rule for myself, and that way if I have to mark it down, I still make
a good amount, but I also know that I'm getting a higher value item since I don't do many sales. I forgot what was wrong with that bag. Does anybody remember these growing up? We had one in my dad's truck. And I almost picked them up, but I wasn't really sure if I could resell them. Could have at least grabbed one. They're just plastic, probably would have cost $2. So when you come to the bins, you need to be ready to dig and have a fully charged phone. You need to grab a cart outside. And usually I let the people who frequent go first, and then I kind of pick up their scraps because they all have little clicks. All of the little clicks, like there's a purse person, a book person. You get it. So, I don't want to make any enemies because these people will pick stuff up for each other too. So if you can, make friends. A nice little vintage toy, but no little stick to go with the xylophone. I've seen one lady here, she literally just picks up kids' toys and resells them. And, kids' toys aren't that heavy typically. I have been finding more and more fake purses, though. I found this one isn't fake as far as I know. I don't know much about that purse. But I did find a fake Prada bag recently. I'll show you some pictures here in a second. Looking back, I don't know why I thought for any amount of time that this was real. Just get a load of this thing. Oh, boy. Let's get a little closer here. But even the straps and the stitching and the lining is kind of cool. It does say Prada on it, and it's got the rope, but it goes up and down, but the stitching is falling apart, and I couldn't find anything that was similar online to compare it to. And the Prada label felt plastic. Kind of wish I would have actually taken this home and tried to use it somehow. Nice and sturdy. It's a good size, and I feel like black pretty much stays in style no matter what. So tell me, should I have picked this up? The bins is really hitting storage solutions up today. So that was something I definitely should not have passed on, but well. I got way too excited about this Ralph Lauren bag. One of them that's in bad condition, I think only sold for $11 on eBay. And then other well-conditioned bags, they sold for around $50. But I didn't check the zipper. And you could probably see it now, but the zipper's broken. So I'm going to try to fix it, but it's a nice size duffel, and overall in decent condition. The front pocket looked like it had some stitching kind of wrong on it, but it was something that I would use, and it's fairly large and light, so it won't cost that much, and I can use it on vacation and, whatever you use a duffel bag for. So this, I've seen people resell this before, and I was kind of excited to see it, but so if you walk around the corner, there's a place you can plug things in. So I'm going to go show you where ours is at our bins. And it lit up ready right away, which kind of freaked me out. It probably just, I'm not really sure how it works, but I decided to leave it. It was going to be $2. Should have just gotten it, but I should check the comps on it as well. It did seem to heat up. But again, you don't know until you get home and try to use it, like if it heats up to the point of cooking something. So that's something to keep in mind when you're reselling and flipping too. This doesn't look like it's ever been colored in, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that. Everything's a quarter here, so not for resale, but I'll just give it to somebody. And I haven't even been here that long, and it's looking like a full cart, and I'm going to have to try to go find a second one so I can keep going. Then we'll find a corner, and we'll go through everything by Googling it and looking up comps. And my mom resells silverware, as I've mentioned, so I'm going to grab that for her and probably call her and see if she thinks any of these patterns are worth it. It'll save me a lot of Googling. This Eddie Bauer bag that I'm about to pick up, it had some resale, and the comps were very high. They were like in the 20s, so, and there were many listings, not sold. I wasn't sure if it was really worth grabbing. After I ended up checking comps later, I ended up putting it back. As you can see, everything kind of gets destroyed here. There's somebody's puzzle. No one will ever have all the pieces too. This was new with tags, but I think it was just a Meyer brand, so I left that. And that looks like the lid to my silverware. That's kind of exciting. You may run into this often at the bins where you find one lonely shoe, or in this case a ski boot, and you will look for it and you will hold on to it. Someone else has probably have the other one in their cart, and you will never find the pair. I've had somebody ask me, hey, do you have this shoe? Do you have this shoe? If they know that you're also picking up shoes. Looks like I found somebody's dump area because this is closed in with all home goods, so somebody probably sat here and threw stuff back. I found a few things in people's throwback piles, like those bear paw boots I was talking about earlier, and I found an Under Armour sweatshirt that I ended up taking too. That giraffe, how did I not see that? That's so cute. And when I see leather, I pick it up. But this didn't have great resale comps either. It's probably only like around $20. It's a really cute bag. You know, I kind of regret not getting it, but it's hard to keep everything that you see that's beautiful. You don't want it to go to landfill, but you also don't have really room in your house for all of these things. So lots to dig through. More books. Also something that's its own category on resale. But I try to get ones that just look good. Maybe look a little newer. Our little newer books. Looks like we've got another... I can't touch these yet because we've got more bins coming out still. So we just have to wait till he says we can go. I do like to get a little Hot Wheels car. They barely cost anything here, and everything's going up in price, so those are always fun to find. I was really excited when I saw this big Kate Spade bag. It is so cute. Yeah, it turns out when I started looking into it later, I don't know if the pink lining had seeped through or if it was in another pink bag that I saw listed on the Goodwill website, that they had maybe put it inside that one. But it was stained. It was completely stained, and it's plastic, so I cannot get it clean. If you have any tips for cleaning off plastic, I did still end up buying it because I wanted to try some experimenting on cleaning different fabrics. So, if you have any tips, I would love to hear them and see if we can get that Kate Spade bag cleaned up. I do think it's authentic. It had all of the characteristics that I could find online. So, I'm still going to I might actually call Kate Spade's website or email them and ask them about it and see if they've got any cleaner that I can maybe purchase, or if they can tell me if it sounds inauthentic or not. So it is a little leery that it would stain so easily. And that Vera Bradley bag was a little roughed up. It's hard in these situations because you're at the bins. You really do have to educate yourself, and there is a lot of resources online. LoveToKnow.com is pretty good, and Coach website and Kate Spade website has tips and tricks on authenticating as well. Coach website has a reloved Coach bag section where they sell old bags that they have actually redesigned and redone in-house, and then they resell them. So I'm interested. You can actually sell your old bags to them. I'm interested in looking into that and seeing what we can actually resell back to them if we had to have owned it ourselves, or if selling that to them, you get $10, or what happens. So I'll be looking into that. Now it's time to go through everything and decide what we're going to keep, and then head home for the day because it's got out of hand really quick. Cute little tag there. I found a little corner. I'm going to start Googling, and we'll see how far we go. I usually try to only spend $20, and I usually end up spending way more. So set your goal before you go and have fun. It's a little dirty, but it's a good time. Thanks for watching. And I got tempted into staying like 5 more minutes because look, new bins. How cute. Just enjoy some more perusing. I'm gonna close it out, but this things that I should have picked up, but you know, we'll be back to this another time, I'm sure. Thanks for watching.